Welcome to my 1 Minute to Wow video tutorial. This is Mary Fish with Stampin' Pretty and stampinpretty.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and you can visit my blog and subscribe to my newsletter at stampinpretty.com. Today's video is going to share with you a really quick wow tip on how to create this super simple washed background with this sentiment, which actually has been heat embossed. It's essentially emboss resist, but I think this watercolor effect makes it especially lovely. I used the Layering Love stamp set. It actually is retiring at the end of May 2018. Very shortly, it's going to be only available while supplies last. I have really gotten a lot of value out of these nice big bold sentiments. So I would scoop that up before May 31st, if not sooner, because the supply could run out if you love it as much as I do. To get started, I stamped actually one of the other sentiments in the stamp set, Enjoy the Little Things. It's hard to see because I essentially used Versamark ink, white Stampin' Emboss powder, and so it's basically white on white. And I'm going to use my heat tool to do the magic. This was the first technique I ever learned when I was paper crafting, or I first started out. One of the tips is to let it heat up a little bit first. That reduces sort of that flyaway factor where you might find little flecks that kind of went AWOL on you. So I let it heat up a little, and this is the Stampin' Up! Heat tool. And even though it's white on white, you may be able to see some of it transforming into that yummy lacquered finish. I'm just going to give it a good coat. And you can tell, you see how that each area changes. I usually like to go back over just to make sure I didn't miss a little spot with the heat. And just make sure it looks shiny. I'm going to just tip it and make sure that all the shine is there, and it is. So next I wanted to give you a quick demo of the new Stampin' Up! Stamp pads that are going to be available in all the colors, including the new colors, the in colors, everything that is released after June 1st. And this is one of the 2018 to 2020 in colors. It's called Blueberry Bushel. And you'll see some of the differences is that are that this is a little more streamlined. It's a little narrower, a little less wide. It still works in our ink pad carousel, as well as the Stampin' storage for Stampin' Up! Pads. But it is just a little bit narrower. It's also a little tighter fit, which improves evaporation. And the formula has a defoamer, so it's a little bit easier to lay down. You open it just like a compact, okay? And then you can slide it back. They're a little stiff at first. This is one of my newer ones, so I wanted to show you that it's just a little bit stiffer at first. But I love that there's an additional label to put on the inside of this. This is called the finger tray, so that you can see when it's open what color it is in case you have a number of colors open. I love that feature. And of course there's a label for the end as well. And then if you have any problems with pulling that finger grip, especially at first, just nudge this end, and then it'll flip right back and it goes right into place. It also has teeny tiny little pegs, so these are now stackable, which they weren't before, which I think is a cool thing. Then I'm just going to open this up for you actually, and I'm going to use this strictly as my little palette. I'm going to use the Blueberry Bushel marker because it's just so easy just to kind of get that color, and I'm going to use an aqua painter. Get a little more water in there because I want a really nice washed look. And then I'm just going to wipe that over this, and you can see how everything's just kind of coming through. It's kind of creating its own little striping. And I'm not worried. I'm going to cut this with a heart, but I actually like the concept of having a few bare areas as well. Isn't that pretty? Let me get a little more up here. And again, I love that variation. I think that's what makes it amazing. And then I'm going to use this paper towel, because sometimes the shiny area, you'll have a little pooling of the ink. So I just always tap, 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 tap. You don't want to smear, but I'm just picking up just a tiniest bit of blueberry bushel that landed on top of the shiny areas. And then I'm going to grab my magnetic platform for my Big Shot. I have an acrylic pad, and I'm going to lay this down. And I'm using one of the Sweet and Sassy framelits dies. These are retiring, guys, and they're going to be only available while supplies last soon, and then permanently discontinued after May 31st of 2018. I love that it has a more conventional heart and then this super cute little curvy one. And this one couldn't be more perfect for this little stamp set. So I want to just make sure I have everything straight and lined up as best I can. It's always a little tricky with the camera rolling, but I'm doing my very best. Oops, I see I did that a little close to the bottom, so I'm just going to cheat and slide it up. And I'm going to put the other cutting plate on top. Bring in my trusty Big Shot that I use on almost every project. Let's see what we have. We should have a really cool and cute little blueberry bushel version of what I did before in this lovely embossed resist. So you get the shine, and then you get that lovely variance of color. And here's the one I did originally. This one is with Melon Mambo, and then this one is in the new blueberry bushel. So thank you for joining me for my 1 Minute to Wow video tutorial. I love your comments and questions. Feel free to leave me a question or comment in the comments below on YouTube, or visit my blog. I'll also post the original details on YouTube in the discussion section in a comment for how to create this card and my supply list. So thank you so much for joining me, and bye-bye.